Welcome to our latest episode of the Great by Choice podcast. The aim here is to have a bit of a chat and an interaction with members of the college community, both past and present, and hopefully give you a little bit of inspiration and a little bit of information about what we think Great by Choice is. So today I'm joined by current member of teaching staff and current lower sixth pupil, Amy Hunter and Miss Quinn, both current international athletes in hockey, Miss Quinn, and in cricket, Amy. So Amy doesn't really need much of an introduction. Record holder as the youngest century scorer in international cricket, newly appointed captain of the under-19 ladies cricket team, and in my opinion, the most impressive question on the chase in recent times. We're also joined by Miss Quinn, member of the PE staff, who is an international hockey player at the minute. Has just recently been added to the Ireland squad and playing at a very high level for Pegasus. So, first question, guys, I suppose, is we're here with the Great by Choice podcast. What for you do you think Great by Choice means?
I think the really important point about Great by Choice is the choice part of it. Really making a conscious effort to give your best in everything that you do, and not just for yourself, but also to help and support those around you, and to be the best version of yourself that you can be. Doing everything you can with intent, and knowing that yes, great may be the outcome, but it is a process, and how do you get there? And sort of trying to give your best at every part of the process to get there.
Good.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely about decision making, and I think it's about consciously trying to further develop yourself, and it might not always work out, but I think as long as you're seeing progress and developing along the way, I think it's definitely worth it.
I think that's a good point about it not always working out. It can't always be positive. It can't always be the way that you want it to be, but making that decision, that choice to persevere with it is a very good point. So international sport, playing at the sort of highest level of your sport. So what is the day in the life of a sportsman, a sportswoman, I suppose I should say, look like? So Miss Quinn, Irish camp. You've been there and back and forward between there and here over the last few weeks. What does a day in Irish camp look like?
So at the minute I'm part of like a group of 6 or 7 development players. So our run up to Christmas here is actually, it's only every Tuesday. And at the minute I'm able to come into school until break time, and then I shoot down the road to Dublin for about 1 o'clock. And at the minute it's looking like gym from 1:30 to about 3:30, a little bit of break, maybe a meeting, and then out on the pitch from about 4:30 until evening time, and then back down the road. But when we're training as the senior squad, they're travelling at the minute. It could be Monday and Tuesday, and in that case, same sort of day. Pitch session in the morning, some gym, and then meetings or back out on the pitch, and then stay down on the Monday night, and then all again on the Tuesday. So the last time we stayed down, we had a time mile on the Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. So yeah, the breakfast buffet didn't see much use. I think I had a slice of toast and marmalade for my breakfast. But then yeah. So
a busy time, especially trying to fit in school and everything. Enjoying it.
Absolutely enjoying it. Yeah.
Good.
For me, I suppose it's something, I never played any underage stuff. Like that's where you've been balancing this all for forever. But for me, it was just something that I maybe thought at my stage, like maybe wasn't going to happen. So just trying to enjoy it. And yeah,
get some
get some kit, not put too much pressure on myself, but no, I'm loving it at the minute.
Excellent. So Amy, slightly different, just came back from the first Irish tour of Pakistan. Is that right? So what does the day in the life of a cricket tourist look like?
Yeah, so we'd probably get up early enough, 7 or 8, and then have breakfast, potentially a meeting, and then head off to training for 3 to 4 hours. Probably have lunch. Well, I know in Pakistan there we did have lunch at the ground most times, and then head back to the hotel. And then in the afternoon we'd have a gym session, and then we'd have a bit of time off in the evening, probably an analysis session, or that's when physio could take place if anyone was struggling with niggles or anything. And then we'd normally have the evening to ourselves, unless a game the next day we'd have a chat amongst ourselves, like an analysis session. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then same most days.
Very good. And Pakistan, an interesting country. Did you get to see much of the country, or did you do much touristy stuff?
Yeah, we had a couple of tourist stuff. Like we got to see the border between Pakistan and India, which was amazing. To be honest, I knew very little about it before I went, but no, it was it was a great experience.
Very good. So the whole idea is that we talk about how the college, how Methody has kind of shaped things. Obviously, Miss Quinn, new to the college. Do you think that your experience so far has had any sort of impact on you? And is there anything that you will have picked up from your time here that might help you in the long run?
Yeah, like I actually just can't get over, I think the staff is just such a special group of people. Everyone is so supportive, and like Mrs. Landrum couldn't have been more supportive about letting me have time away for training. PE are great, like Mr. Dockery especially, he's covering me like every Tuesday at the minute. So there's just such a great team of people around me, which is allowing me to be able to go and give this a chance. Because I think initially when I was asked, I was thinking, oh flip, like, how would that work with school? But no, they've just made my life so easy. Everyone in PE and Mrs. Landrum, they've made it very easy for me to really try and give it a go.
And do you think that your time here, so you've been here, Amy, since P1?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were Fullerton and now into lower sixth. Do you think your time in Methody has shaped you in any way? Do you think that it has affected your where you've ended up?
Yeah, I think definitely. Even in the primary school and then coming through the senior school, I think everyone encourages you to play so much sport, and even just in class and everything, it's talked about so much, and you create such good friendships through it. So I think sport is such a huge part of Methody, and that's definitely helped me develop. And obviously the availability of cricket here has definitely helped me develop my skills. Mr. Kennedy's very accommodating during the summer to me, because I'm down training in Dublin quite a lot during the week, but he still allows me to play the games on Saturday when I can, which is, it's great. So I think it's definitely had a huge impact on me.
Bit of a difficult question, I suppose, but you've been successful in so many different things. Is there one particular highlight that you would you would talk about and you think, that's the best thing for me? I know from my point of view is with Amy, watching Amy as a first year scoring 100 against Grosvenor in a cup match and getting her hand shook by the Grosvenor coach, saying the best innings of cricket that he's ever seen is my highlight from the two of you. But what about you guys? Is there anything in particular, one sort of little event did you think, that was pretty unbelievable?
Like in school or in terms of
hockey?
Well,
in terms of in hockey, in school, whatever it might be.
I think in school and just a day-to-day basis, like, I don't want to say sacrifice because it seems like a negative thing, but I just think back to me when I was at school and I saw what my teachers gave me, and I just really want to be able to do the same for the pupils here that I teach. Yeah. You look back and they were every Saturday morning, every after school, and they gave you so much and gave you so many opportunities, and I just want to try for my pupils that I teach sort of part of that positive experience if I can be. But yeah, I think that's all. Lots
of highlights, Amy, I suppose, but is there one in particular that that really stands out to you?
Yeah, I think my century probably, because I'd always had quite a high expectations of myself before that, but to be honest, I hadn't done very well for Ireland yet. I think I don't even think I've made it out of single digits, so I was pretty disappointed in myself before that, but it was kind of just a lot of hard work I got into, a lot of chats and everything. So yeah, to be honest, it was probably my highlight so far. And
on your birthday as well, there must have been a little extra bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. My coach actually joked the day before that you have to get a century on your birthday, but to be honest, I was just hoping to get out of single digits for the first time.
Very good. So coming back to the Great by Choice theme, so the question that we kind of ask everybody is, what sort of behaviours do you think sum up someone who is great by choice?
I think the big thing is consistency. You know, when, like I was talking about earlier, that process. I think there's so many things, you know, that anything great takes time and takes practice. So sort of trying to put the hard yards in, you know, even in your own time and making that sacrifice. Yeah. I think being really positive and optimistic, because there are so many times where it is hard and it's not always glam, it's not always easy. But just being positive and trying to, you know, be grateful for you get to do what you love to do, like basically day in and day out, and with your best friends. And I think as well, just not being afraid to ask questions and don't be put down by failure, because there will be so many failures and down points, but just seeing it as sort of part of the journey, I suppose, and learning from it and trying to have fun and take the positives.
Okay. Amy?
Yeah, to be honest, I think I'm pretty similar. I'd say just someone who's pretty diligent, hardworking, but also cares for others and looks out for others along the way. Because whether that's teammates or whatever, there's a lot of people going through the same things and trying to achieve the same things as you are. So kind of if you can all do it together, it's going to make the process a bit easier. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'd definitely just say to trust the process, because it's not always going to be easy, and kind of makes it better in the end, I suppose. It
is a bit of a cliche, the whole trust the process thing, but it is 100% right.
Yeah.
Though you have to, it has to be, that has to be the way. You know, you got to trust in, I suppose it's the same in school and sport, whatever it might be. You know, you trust in what is happening and you will get there. Very good. So do you think you have a piece of advice for our listeners, watchers, whatever it might be, to help them think about maybe potentially get great by choice themselves?
I would just say, you know, like enjoy every minute, especially if you're looking at it from like a school perspective or a school sports perspective. Like, it's so special. It's such a special time in your life, and it just goes and it's done in a flash. And I know like what I would do to go back playing school sport, just making special memories with your friends, and memories that will never leave you. Like you'll leave school and you'll always have them. So yeah, just try to enjoy every minute, enjoy the hard work, enjoy getting up for fitness early in the morning, because it'll all be worth it and it'll all work out, like we said.
I don't want to drag up this memory for you, Miss Quinn, but thinking back to your own school days, and yes, weren't successful in a Schools Cup final, but do you think that whole, like that year in particular, is that something that you look back on fondly, even though you didn't get the win at the end, but is it something that you...
Absolutely. I'm trying to think that was 2015. It shows how sheltered my life is. Like, it's honestly probably one of the darkest days. Like, yeah, we lost our Schools Cup final 2-1. Sullivan scored in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. Yeah, it's hard to take, but many positives, and first time a girls team in Bambridge Academy had ever got to the Schools Cup final, whereas the boys, they had so much success every year. And we were sort of always unlucky, you know. But so many positives to take from it, so many memories. And then in the years after, you know, they had so much success and they went on to win it 2 or 3 times in a row, you know, after that. Came
from your hard work.
So, I don't know. Give them the belief, yeah.
So Amy, piece of advice for anybody listening, how do you think they could be great by choice?
I suppose just have to work very hard and be really focused on something and motivated to do that. But I think also just trusting the work that you have put in, that it's going to work out. Might not be exactly the way you want it to, but it is going to work out in some sort of shape or form.
Very good. Thank you very much. Amy, Miss Quinn, you are great by choice. Thank you very much for coming along.
Thank you.
Join us again where we will have another member of the college community, past, present, maybe even future, to talk about what they think that great by choice means. Thank you and goodbye.